YouTube? It's Craig, Reviews for You, back with another video here. Alright, today I want to talk about, well, first let me update you. There's a brand new microphone on the way. Okay, I just bought this whole new setup here, and this microphone keeps going in and out and in and out, and although I can hear it on my playback, some people can't hear it on their playback, and it'll drop the sound out. So I'm ordering a new microphone. It's going to be here on Sunday. Amazon. Not a plug. Trust me, they don't pay for anything on this channel. It's just, I got to have it quickly, and they had it in stock. Now, what I'd really like to talk about today is the Star Wars fans. You know, how can we get the Star Wars fans back together? We know there's problems at Disney. We know there's problems with Lucasfilm. We know there's problems in the creative department, and we've noticed this for a long time. Even before The Last Jedi. Everything that they do every movie they produce seems to have problems. But that's not what I want to talk about today. We all know that's happening. What I want to talk about today is how can we bring the fans back together. If you liked The Last Jedi, that's good for you. That doesn't make me dislike you as a person. If you didn't like The Last Jedi, I didn't personally, but that shouldn't make you dislike me as a person. You know, opinions are opinions. Everybody has them. Perception is reality. And that's just the truth of the whole matter. Perception is reality. Now, it all started off after The Last Jedi. Yes, it got a big fan backlash. There were people throwing shade from one side and people throwing shade from the other, and eventually it just turned into a big name-calling war between fans. Now, not only did Disney do it, it's the fans that did it. You know, we're the ones that really need to come together. You know, you're not a real Star Wars fan because you didn't go watch the movie. Alright, now on that subject, everyone that likes Star Wars, no matter if it's the new Disney Star Wars, the old Star Wars, the books, the EU, it makes no difference to me. If you are a Star Wars fan, you are a Star Wars fan. Granted, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get them to give us better content, better stories, because the reason we go to the movies is to get away from this crazy world that we live in. We go to these movies to be sucked in, pulled in to a completely different universe where none of this stuff around us really matters at all. And we get to see heroes and villains, and we get to live through these heroes and through these villains. We get to be entertained. We get to feel like we're actually part of the Star Wars universe. That's why we all are Star Wars fans. No matter if you like The Last Jedi or you didn't like it. So what can we actively do to get the Star Wars fan base back together? We know that Disney and them have got issues. That's not what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about how can we get the fans back together. There's not a Star Wars fan that I've met over the past 12 years, that I haven't been able to spark up a conversation and just talk Star Wars with. It doesn't matter, new fan, old fan, kids from 6 all the way up to people of 60. Makes no difference. I mean, it really doesn't. A Star Wars fan is a Star Wars fan. It doesn't mean we should blindly go watch Star Wars if it's an inferior film, or if it's got a message involved that we just don't agree with. But for those that do go watch it, and for those that do enjoy it, you know, that's good for them. We don't hate on them. You know, there's a lot of websites out there and Twitter pages and everything else, and they are fans of The Last Jedi and don't understand why we don't like The Last Jedi. So, what do? I don't personally attack them, and I don't put on their Twitter feed. I will send them a DM, and I will just open the conversation and I will explain the things that I personally didn't like about The Last Jedi. And most of the time, what I get back in a message is, okay, well, I mean, I can understand that. You know, put yourself in this and put yourself in this position, and we end up starting a conversation. There are actually people out there that, you know, there's going to be extremists on both sides. There's nothing we can do about that. Politics and religion should never be brought up, period. Unless you want to start an argument or you want to start a debate, these two things need to be left out of everything. Everybody should know that, and everybody has probably heard that before. So, we want to leave politics out. We want to leave religion out. We want to stop all that. Because actually, we're all Star Wars fans. So, I want your comments down below on what you think we can do to stop the divide, bring us back together, all as Star Wars fans. You can dislike a Star Wars movie, or you can dislike a Star Wars character, and another person can like a movie and like a character, and y'all two can still get along and be friends. There's no reason to attack another over their view of, you know, The Last Jedi. We all know that's what divided the fan base. Alright, so we know that Disney's not going to bring the fan base back together on their own. It's going to be up to us. Now, I don't know about you, but I really do enjoy talking to Star Wars fans. It doesn't matter if he's a Star Wars fan and he's 6 years old and these are the first movies he's ever seen, or whether he's a Star Wars fan that started off in 1977 and has seen and read everything all the way up until today. Star Wars is Star Wars. We have Jedis and Siths and lightsaber battles and cool spaceships and TIE fighters and A-Wings and U-Wings and X-Wings and you know, we have, you know, Imperial ships, and we have all this cool stuff that we can put our energy into. And we can all agree on every one of those aspects that I just said right then. Both sides can agree on that. So I want to know your opinion. You know, what do you think we can do in order to bring the Star Wars fans back together? I don't want a rift between the Star Wars fans. I honestly don't. You know, I really do want to save the franchise. I really do passionately care about Star Wars. Been a fan forever. Since I was, since I was a toddler, I have been a fan. Luckily, all the toys that I had from growing up, I still have. And the majority of them are Star Wars toys. You know, anytime we went somewhere and, you know, anybody wanted to, you know, do you want me to pick you up something? It was always pick me up something Star Wars. It's a way to escape. It's a way to get away from the crazy world that we all live in and get away from the political side and the things that are going on and all of the negativity that's happening all around the world. We go to this movie to be encapsulated. We're in a bubble in this movie. We all feel like we are part of this Star Wars universe. That's the magic of Star Wars. You can't really compare it to Marvel because each character is strong enough to support a film on his own. Star Wars, on the other hand, is not like that. It takes a collection of characters and a great storyline in order for you to feel like you're actually part of it. This is now this is just my point of view, but I want to see what you think. Man, you know, y'all don't have a problem leaving comments, and that's great. I mean, there are tons of comments on each one of these videos, and a lot of them are extremely positive comments. There have been some negative comments, but, you know, you're going to get that from time to time. My goal is not to start a fight with the other side, the people that did like The Last Jedi. My goal is not to start a fight. My goal is not to name call. My goal, honestly, from now on out, I really just want to get the fans back together. I want to get Disney headed in the right direction. I think Dave Filoni can do that. We can all agree that everything that I've named off is what made Star Wars great. And that's fans on this side and fans on this side of the fence. So, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And I am Craig. Reviews for you. And I am out of here.
It's plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence, and nobody can hang with my stuff. You know, I'm just a big, hairy American winning machine. If you ain't first, you're last.